They say love is blind, but I never understood what that truly meant until I met Sarah. Our story felt like it was ripped straight from a movie script. We met in a quaint little coffee shop, one of those rainy Tuesday afternoons where the world outside seems to fade away. She was sketching in a notebook, her brow furrowed in concentration. I, clumsy as ever, spilled my latte right next to her table. Instead of getting annoyed, she just laughed, a sound like wind chimes, and helped me clean it up. That was it. I was hooked. The first few years were pure bliss. We were inseparable. We built a life together, brick by brick, laugh by laugh. We bought a small house with a yard for the dog we planned to get. We talked about having kids, about growing old on our porch swing, watching the seasons change. She was my rock, my confidant, my everything. She'd tell me these incredible stories about her day, about the funny people she met, the challenges she overcame at work. Her life seemed so vibrant, so full of adventure. I'd listen, mesmerized, feeling like the luckiest man on earth to be a part of her world. I trusted her completely. Why wouldn't I? Every I love you felt genuine. Every kiss felt real. When she said she was working late, I'd make sure dinner was warm for her when she got home. When she said she was going on a business trip, I'd pack her a little note in her suitcase to find later. I believed in us. I believed in the beautiful, perfect world she painted for me every single day. Her words were the foundation of my reality, and I never once thought to question them. Looking back, I guess I just didn't want to see the cracks that were starting to form. The first crack was small, almost unnoticeable. It was a Tuesday, our coffee shop anniversary. I'd planned a surprise dinner, she called, her voice strained, saying her boss had sprung a last-minute project on her. She sounded so genuinely upset about it, apologizing over and over. "I'm so sorry, my love. I'll make it up to you, I promise." I believed her. I ate alone that night, telling myself that work is just like that sometimes. But a seed of doubt, tiny and unwelcome, had been planted. Then, the late nights became more frequent. The business trips started happening on weekends. Her stories, once detailed and vivid, became vague. "Oh, it was just a long meeting," she'd say, or "the trip was boring. All work." The laughter in her voice was replaced by a kind of hurried distraction. She was on her phone a lot more, always angled away from me. When I'd ask who she was texting, she'd wave it off. Just a work thing, or my sister's being dramatic again. Each excuse was plausible. Each lie wrapped in just enough truth to be swallowed. I kept swallowing them because the alternative was unthinkable. My friends started to notice. My best friend, Mark, pulled me aside one day. "Man, are you sure everything's okay with you and Sarah? She seems distant." I got defensive. I told him he didn't know her like I did, that she was just stressed from work. I defended her. I defended our love story, because admitting something was wrong meant admitting our perfect world was a lie. I was building a fortress of denial around myself, and Sarah was handing me the bricks one lie at a time. The tipping point came on a Saturday. She said she was going to a spa retreat for the weekend with some girlfriends from work. A much-needed break. I helped her pack, kissed her goodbye, and told her to relax and have fun. That afternoon, I was at the hardware store when I ran into one of her supposed spa retreat friends, Jessica. "Hey," I said, "shouldn't you be getting a massage right now?" Jessica looked at me, completely confused. "Spa retreat? What are you talking about? I haven't seen Sarah in weeks." The world stopped. The cheerful noise of the hardware store faded into a dull roar in my ears. Jessica's confused face, the bright fluorescent lights, the smell of sawdust, it all blurred together.
Ow.
There was no spa retreat. There were no girlfriends. It was a lie. A huge, elaborate lie. I allowed myself to truly question everything. Where was she? Who was she with? My mind raced, connecting the dots I had so actively ignored for months. The late nights, the secret texts, the vague explanations, they weren't just cracks in the foundation. They were gaping holes. I drove home in a daze. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. I walked into our house, the house we built together, and it felt cold and foreign. The pictures of us smiling on the walls seemed to mock me. I sat on our couch, the silence of the house screaming at me. I didn't know what to do. Should I call her? Confront her? Part of me wanted to believe there was a reasonable explanation, another story she could tell that would make it all okay. But I knew deep down that the story was over. I found my answer in the shared credit card statement I'd been ignoring on the kitchen counter. I opened it, my heart pounding. There it was, in black and white. A charge from a romantic hotel 2 hours away from the previous weekend. The weekend she was supposedly on a business trip. There were restaurant charges for 2 bar tabs, all from the same town. The truth hit me like a physical blow. It wasn't just a lie, it was a whole other life, a life she was living without me. When she came home on Sunday evening, glowing and relaxed, she launched into a detailed story about the spa. The massages, the facials, the funny thing that happened in the sauna. She was a phenomenal actress. I listened, my face a stone mask. When she finished, I just looked at her and said, "Who is he, Sarah?" The color drained from her face. The cheerful mask fell away, and for the first time in a long time, I saw the real her, and she was a stranger. The confession was ugly and painful. The lies unraveled one by one, revealing a tapestry of deceit I couldn't have imagined. It hadn't just been a one-time thing. It had been going on for nearly a year. The late nights weren't for work. The business trips weren't for business. Her vibrant stories were just that, stories. Fictions created to cover her tracks. And my reality, the life I thought was so perfect, was a complete fabrication she had built around me. The pain of that realization was indescribable. It was more than just heartbreak. It was the shattering of my entire world. Every memory we had made was now tainted. Was she thinking of him during our anniversary dinner? Was she texting him while I was telling her about my day? The woman I loved, the woman I had planned to spend my life with, didn't exist. She was a character Sarah had created, and I had fallen for it completely. Moving on has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Some days are okay, and other days the weight of the betrayal is suffocating. It's a slow process. Learning to trust my own judgment again, but I am rebuilding. I'm learning that true love doesn't require you to be blind. It thrives in the light of honesty and trust. My story with Sarah ended in ruins, but I'm slowly, carefully, laying a new foundation for my own life, one built on truth. Thank you for listening to my story. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content.